Howdy folks, Tony.Hardy again. This time we're going to talk about the exclusive listing. Um, why does it make sense to list your property with a broker? Um, Part of that is the first thing you want to do is you want to select the right broker. A smart residential broker probably wouldn't take on a listing for a large apartment community, even though it looks like, a big commission or something like that. There's a lot of work that goes into something like that. And pricing is one of the big things. You want to be able to price it appropriately. You don't want to just list the property because the seller said, hey, I want $20 million for my property. Um, you want to get it priced just right. And we found that if you price the property a little bit above where the market is, you typically do better than if you price the property a lot above where the market is. As far as getting serious offers, if the people that are in that market making transactions uh, know where the market is and they say it's priced ridiculously, they're going to give you a ridiculous offer. But if you're 5 or 6% above, we've seen a lot of times, sometimes a property, if it is a competitive market, it'll sell very close to the list price, or sometimes above the list price. That's one of the things. Another thing is you hear sellers sometimes they'll say, okay, I want to sell the deal. If you could bring me a buyer that'll give me my price, then I'll sell it. In other words, bring me a buyer. Well, one of the things that happens is I have a database of buyers and sellers, actually owners. Everybody that owns an apartment building in my submarket, I got your name and phone number. I got your address. A lot of times you're on my mailing list, you're on my email list, and I got a watch list set up. If something comes on the market that's in your strike zone, I'm going to be giving you a call. Or if you own the building around the corner or down the street, a similar product, even if you're not in the market, I'm going to call you and let you know that property's on the market. And just for informational purposes, you may want to know. Sometimes those guys will get off the fence and come and take a look. Sometimes they become buyers just for control. I own the building next door. That building's on the market. I haven't bought a building in 10 years, but that building's on the market. I'll take a look at it. So I got a database, let's say 3,500 prospects at any given time. Well, if I'm walking to a seller and you tell me, hey, Tony, I'll sell my building if you bring me a buyer. Out of this 3,500 people, there may be 4 or 10 at the most that I'll talk to and say, hey, I got an opportunity for you. You may want to take a look at that. Why is that? Because I got to trust you. I'm not protected by a listing agreement. One, and two, it's got to be somebody I'm pretty close with. And a lot of times, this pool, these guys are potential buyers. I know they're buyers, they're deal makers, but they may not be the best buyer. And you're not looking for a deal. You're looking for the best deal. You only get to sell this building one time. Another thing is the firm that I'm with now, we do about $100 million a month, Chicagoland. Last year, 2014, they did north of 1.7 billion. But let's just take $100 million. A lot of these guys, I like to call them deal junkies. When they sell a building, they buy a building for 1031 exchange purposes or other purposes. So let's just say every month we're doing 100 million. That's 200 million every 60 days in Chicagoland. Now, nationwide, some ridiculous number north of 30 billion. We're just going to talk about Chicagoland. We're not going to talk about the whole year. Well, if 60%, let's just say 50% of these people are looking to reinvest these dollars for 1031 exchange purposes, they have 60 days. They have 60 days to recapture that. If this building is just being marketed to off market to those people that I know because I don't have an exclusive listing, guess what? These people never see this deal. And these are the people that tend to be good buyers. A lot of times they'll pay a little bit more for the property. And that's because I got a database, but the guy in the office next door to me, he's got a database too. But he won't see this deal because it's not exclusively listed. Neither will the other 100 agents that we have working throughout Chicagoland. And if you have a larger deal, investment grade real estate, somewhere between $1 million and $10 million, which is where we really shine at. Um, you may be missing out not only on these 100 agents, but other agents throughout our regional offices. Sometimes we get activity coming in from our Wisconsin office or Indianapolis office. We have 3 offices in Canada. A lot of the money coming in from Canada, the East Coast and the West Coast, is starting to come into Chicagoland because Chicago's a great market. It's the third largest city in the U.S. Prices aren't as crazy as the other top 10 cities. Employment tends to be okay. We didn't take a really big dip when the economy went down. We tend to be right there in the middle, in the Midwest. So that's why we're seeing a lot of activity in Chicagoland and a lot of the Midwest markets. So it's selecting the right real brokerage firm to represent you, a right real estate agent or broker that you know is going to roll up his sleeves or her sleeves to get the job done for you, that's selling deals in that marketplace, that's talking to the buyers and sellers to know where the financing opportunities are for particular buyers and sellers to get the deal actually over the finish line. Those are some reasons why it may make sense to exclusively list your property. Um, if you have any specific questions or concerns, give me a call or reach out to me via email. My information is below. I'd be more than happy to help out in any way I can. Thank you.